Hi, Peter Charles here of Hooked for Life Fly Fishing. And today we're going to tie a fly called the Stewart. It's from the West Coast. It's tied by Marty Sherman for Oregon, for the Oregon rivers. So let's get tying. The thing I like about this fly is it's mostly black, and you know, that's one of my favorite colors for fishing in the Great Lakes. So I think this fly will work down here just fine. Anyway, let's get going. Our hook today is a size 4 salmon single. Our thread is an 8/0 black. Our tag is a small mylar, and we're going to be using the gold side. Our tail is going to be golden pheasant tips. The body is black wool. The hackle is a soft black hackle. The wing is black calf tail, and we're going to be using some orange calf tail for an overwing. Well, this one's seen better days. Okay, let's get started. Now, wool body, you don't have to be fussy with getting it all perfect. It's going to be well covered up. Since this is a gold tag, we tied in silver up. Get the thread out of the way. Now just fold it back and trap it, because we're going to use the rest of that mylar for the rib. Now for our golden pheasant tail. And what you need to do is grab hold of the tip so it doesn't move and cut off half a dozen or so. There we go. Now your tips stay aligned. You've got to hold on to the tips while you trim off the feather. If you just try to, cut them like you would any other barb, you'll end up with your tips all misaligned. So I will just place them just so that black will show against the tag there. And I'll just put in a soft wrap just to hold it so they don't splay too much. There we go. Trim that off. Now for our wool, we're going to make multiple passes here, so make sure you take enough off. Again, no need to be neat. It's all going to be covered up. There are times in this business you want to be neat, and there are times it doesn't matter. Okay, I've got a bump here, and I'm just going to start in front of the bump, and you'll see that I'll be able to fill up that space when I come back. Bring it up to the return, and start back. Now, I'll just bring that right up to the tag. Be careful not to move your tail. And come forward. And go up into the return. There we go. Keep it underneath and trim off. I want to point out something that I do quite frequently when I'm doing wool bodies. You can see how this is sloped down at a shallow angle. I don't like to have my wool bodies come off at a sharp angle like that, because when you tie the wing on, it kicks the wing up at a very high angle, and I like my wings to lay down. So that's why I tend to try to slope that off with the wool. Okay, now we're going to wind our rib, and we're going to go gold side out. Then keep it underneath. Clean it up. Now for the hackle. We've got a tying in point here. Just keep coming in front of the previous turn. Now I'll fold my hackle quill back and snap it off. That way, with that fold back, you're not going to have your hackle pull out. Adds a bit of bulk, but for a fly like this, I'm not worried. Okay, now for the black. Now, we're putting on both black and orange, so you can't get gung-ho with the amount that you take off. So the black is more prominent than the orange. So I'll take some black off first. And as usual, you take out the short stuff and the under fur. Okay, your wing should be maybe a little bit shorter than the tail, or about the length of the tail. And if it's a little long, just pull it a bit. If it moves, put it back. Bind it nice and tight. There we go. Now for just a little hint of orange. We're not going to be using much. We're just taking just a little bit to give it a little bit of an orange flavor at the top. There we go. Now we'll just finish off our head. Okay, now for a little head cement. There we go, the Stewart. A nice looking black fly with just that hint of orange, both in the pheasant tail tips and that little orange overwing. I think that'd be quite an effective pattern, especially when you're looking for a fly that's not too fancy, not too bright, for those days where you're fishing over pressured fish and, you know, they've seen all the bright stuff. So give them something a little bit darker. And, you know, I've heard the old saying, you can use any color for steelhead you want as long as it's black. So give it a try, the Stewart. Cheers.